Okay, so we're seeing regarding voodoo. While our game draws heavy inspiration from voodoo tradition and culture, we diverge drastically from the reality of what is a rich and active religion. Where we borrow, we seek to do so respectfully, but the game is ultimately a work of pure and wonderful fiction. Um, okay. That sounds promising that they're acknowledging like that their depiction of voodoo and I think the popular culture depiction of voodoo in video games as such and films as such, for example, a Gabriel Knight, that it doesn't fully match the reality of what voodoo is in real life. So that's good. Um, that's loud. This for me. Okay, I can make it smaller. That's good. Or can I make it smaller and then? Okay, that's good. I don't know. It's weird that the resolution option disappears when I disable full screen because you would think that you would be able to resize the Windows modes. I don't know. That's a weird thing. I actually kind of have a direct contact sort of with developers via the Adventure Chat Discord, so I'm gonna notify them of this. That I think this should be changed. Power saving. I'm wondering what this does. I might want to enable it because on my laptop, but for stream purposes, I'm not gonna put it on because I don't know what it does. I am, however, going to plug in my laptop so that I can stream it properly. Okay. Is it still showing on? Yeah, now it's gotten smaller on stream. There we go. That's better. Okay, now it's looking good. How is it sounding on stream? I think maybe still a little bit lower. Okay, I'll leave it like this. Well, I'll put this down a bit just as a safety precaution. I'll mess with these audio settings if need be. Let me know how the audio sounds. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what this game is all about. I've seen very minor bits and pieces of it, screenshots and small gameplay segments, but I don't really know much about it at all, so mostly blind. Let's see. Oh, huh. Play game, and then you get the save games, and yeah, okay. So, new game. I guess I can enter my name. I guess we'll go with Summer. Hey, it's the
I
Voodoo.
should describe myself.
The Voodoo Detective should describe himself. Uh, I have no idea if this is any gameplay impact or changes anything. This option. This choice. He looks kind of tough. I don't know. I should describe myself. Is that like, should I pick what I want? Should I describe myself, or is it the character describing himself? But then I have to pick it, which is weird. I don't know. If I have to describe myself of these three options, I would pick sensitive. I can be shrewd, but it's not like I think I'm more sensitive than shrewd person generally. I'm I'm a tough person in some ways and not in other ways. Unless anyone has any input, I'm going to pick sensitive just because I think that's the most appropriate uh, adjective, I guess, to describe myself personally. Me as in the actual player. Yeah, sensitive,
I'm a
I guess.
sensitive voodoo man. What am I looking for? Well, if I
Okay,
knew
so it was
that,
actually about
I
Honey's
wouldn't
thing.
need to put out a personal ad.
Can't
Why did I
recognize the word
let my
choices
brother
forever.
talk me into moving here? This town needs saving, he said. Restless spirits, he said. Oh, well, I can't blame them. With all the damn tourists here, I feel pretty restless myself. This town's got all the charm of a burning outhouse.
Short Sleeve Studio presents.
Just my luck. I better poke around for something to help me put this fire out.
What? Burning text.
There's got to be something in my office I can use to douse this overblown candle.
Now the phone is ringing as well. What?
There's got to be something in my office I can use to douse this overblown candle.
I can't click through it. Oh, hey, Short Sleeve Studio. Yeah. What can I use to douse it? Can I just pick up the...
Whoa, that's hot.
No. So I need to douse the burning text first? Yeah, I wouldn't remain this calm if there was like fire floating in the air in front of me. What can I use to douse the fire? Like, I see bottles here, but I can't select them and I wouldn't be able to reach them anyway.
This town has all the charm of a burning outhouse.
Oh, it has a skip button here. I wish I could
This
just
town
click
has all the
skip.
charm of a burning outhouse.
I mean, it has disadvantages where you can skip accidentally, but still it would be handier I think personally than a skip button here. Also, Short Sleeve Studio, now that you're here, when I started the game, I noticed that if you, yeah, because I'm streaming and I'm streaming on a laptop, I only have one window, so I always stream with the game in the windowed modes. And when you click to disable full screen, the resolution option disappears. So I had to choose the resolution that I wanted for windowed modes before I disabled full screen, which is kind of weird. I wish the resolution option would stick around even when you disable full screen. So yeah, that was just something I noticed. Baron
It's a mask
Samedi.
representing Baron Samedi, a voodoo demigod.
Samedi.
He's the lord of the underworld and one of the most powerful Loa. I like to keep him close. I find it comforting somehow. I can't leave while my office is on fire.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Short Sleeve Studio is saying, oh, interesting. I never thought of that use case because when I disable full screen, I typically resize the window manually. But I didn't even think about streamers. Yeah, I did also kind of drag resize it, but I think it would still be handy to have the option here. Yeah, either for people who aren't aware that you can drag resize, or for people who might not have the option to. I can imagine circumstances where people might not be able to do that, or they're not aware of it, or I don't know. I don't have anything in the inventory.
I've got to find a way to put this fire out before my office burns down.
I know, but how? I can't reach this side of the office. I don't see anything
There's
here.
got to be something in my office I can use to douse this overblown candle. It's a mask representing Papa Legba, a voodoo demigod. He's one of the most powerful Loa and arbiter between humanity and the spirit realm.
Loa, is that written
There's
like
a
that?
hidden switch behind the mask.
Hidden switch? What? Oh, there you go.
It's a mask representing Baron Samedi. He's the lord of the underworld and one of the most powerful Loa.
Okay, so it's
I like to keep him close.
consistently
I
like
find it comforting somehow.
that. Okay, so we've found
My
a hidden
seltzer
bar.
bottle. That fire's about to have a toe tag and a ticket to the big adios.
I'm guessing this is kind of an introductory puzzle to looking around, finding your way around, interacting with stuff, and then using an inventory item. Double click for skip. Oh, it's double click. Okay, so it's not single skip. That makes sense. And the space bar also. Okay.
That's
yeah, thank
better.
you. Yeah. Lots of skipping options. Yeah, I don't know if that's documented anywhere, those shortcuts. That I'm wondering if that should be documented either somewhere where a player can find that easily or just have it in the game itself that it says that somewhere. Because otherwise you're not gonna know unless you're actively looking around. It is, but just a little bit further in the game. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Um, oh, I missed the
This
speaker.
radio may be old, but the speaker's got a powerful magnet. When I listen, so do the neighbors.
Okay, we might need a magnet later since he points it out. That's good to know. We can't interact with the bin. Let's pick up the phone.
Voodoo Detective speaking. How may I help you? Yes, that's my real name.
I love that typical
No, I don't detect
old
voodoo.
school
I
telephone
practice voodoo and
noise.
use hoodoo to detect. It's right on the sign. No problem. Take care.
He practices voodoo and he uses hoodoo to detect. Okay. Someone just knocked on the door.
If you're from the fire brigade, you're a little late.
Are you
That's a good
Voodoo
one.
Detective?
I
That's my
mean,
name,
it does say
unless they
so on the
changed it while
door.
I wasn't looking. What's this about, Miss...
If you don't mind, I'd like to save the introductions for later,
Is
Mr.
it that
Detective.
urgent?
I have a rather strange case that may be well suited to a man of your talents.
Yeah, that's a bit rude
That
not to
is,
introduce
if you
yourself.
do voodoo. You do voodoo, don't you?
You don't do voodoo, ma'am. Why don't you come in and sit down and show some respect?
Yeah, show some goddamn respect.
Now, suppose you tell me about it from the very beginning.
So before we get further, you made that joke before the game did. Okay, yeah, that's good. Before we get really into the nitty gritty of the story, short sleeve, I just had a question come to my mind. Why did you decide to make a game about voodoo, about a voodoo detective? Is there a specific reason? Is there a personal attachment to it? Did you just think it would be a neat game concept? I'm just curious if you can provide any insight into why this game, how it came about. Um, I don't mean to really do a sudden interview, but I figured since now I have you here in chat, it would be neat to hear if you want to talk about it like that. Um, yeah, just gonna wait a moment for you to write something. Oh, it's kind of a long story. We both really love Monkey Island, which has some of those stereotypical concepts of voodoo in it. That's certainly true. The voodoo lady and the stuff she makes you collect, the ingredients, and then she makes a voodoo uh, doll, and yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that in there. Those indeed stereotypical concepts of voodoo. Yeah. So then I'm wondering if like you wanted to make this game to kind of dispel those stereotypical notions of it. The story started as a short story from 2017 that had a noir detective story with some voodoo magic in it. Okay, yeah. So far, this also has a noir detective feeling, except it doesn't look really noir at all. It looks very colorful and bright, actually. Uh, but then when we started really working on the game, we realized voodoo is in fact an active religion. Yeah, um, yeah. So you started out from the stereotypical point of view of it. That was the knowledge you had at the start, and then you actually learned. Yeah, then you started doing actual research into it. You hired two separate professors to help make sure you were being respectful where you were planning to borrow from the culture. That makes a lot of sense, and I think that's a great thing to do. Um, especially, there's it's okay. It can be okay to make a game where you're just playing with those stereotypical concepts and notions of what voodoo is. But if you really want to portray it in an actual way and kind of represent it properly, as opposed to kind of doing some sort of cultural appropriation, then yeah, that makes total sense. And I think that's a very good move that you did research and also hired professors to vet your work, as it as it were. Yeah, I don't know if you have much more to say about it. Oh, you decided if you were going to borrow from Voodoo, you wanted to be thoughtful and respectful. Yeah. So while it's not a reference of any sort, we did our best. Well, I mean, if you're basing your game on the concept of voodoo and you wanted to, as I was saying, to pay homage to it, to really kind of portray it in a way that's faithful to how it is in real life, yeah, then that makes total sense. So yeah, that's great. I was just wondering off the top of my head randomly, but yeah, I appreciate the answer. Let's get back to the game.
I need your help, Detective.
Of course she
I
does.
need you to find out who I am.
Oh, well, that would explain why she's not able to introduce herself if she doesn't know who
Oh,
she
come
is.
on. I swear this never happens.
Damn that text! Oh, I love that. That's a very good joke.
What do you mean, find out
Hey,
who I
Jacker.
am?
Are you sweetie?
If you're looking for a shrink, that's not really the kind of soul searching I do.
I mean, I've lost my memory. You may
Okay.
not understand, but it's rather precious to me, and I'd like it recovered.
I mean, if you don't remember anything, how do you know it's precious to you? That doesn't fully make sense. Okay, so what do you remember?
You lost your memory, huh? Did you check the couch cushions?
Is this some kind of joke to you?
So,
Take it easy, lady. You haven't given me much to work with. Is there anything you do remember?
He's
What are you
looking
doing?
at her head through a
Just a little
magnifying glass.
examination.
How is that an examination?
Okay,
It's not like you're looking into her brain.
this is going to sound strange. I don't know if you'll believe me.
Doesn't matter what I believe. You go on with your story.
That's funny.
Well, the very first thing I remember was standing at a crossroads. I'm not sure where, but it felt somehow both familiar and foreign at the same time. Like the memory of a dream.
Yeah, this does look like a dream.
There was an old man there.
So Short Sleeve Studio says, I'm going into lurk mode to do work on the Apple Store. Yeah, that makes sense. No problem. I'm gonna enjoy streaming this, I'm sure. We'll see how far I get this stream and see if I continue it on stream later or not. But yeah, we're
She
gonna
spoke to me.
enjoy this
I
round.
believe this belongs to you.
I was confused. I couldn't remember ever having seen the pendant before. In fact, I couldn't remember anything. He seemed to understand.
This sure sounds like some voodoo.
Don't worry, child. A little sleep and you'll be back to your old self again.
Except she clearly wasn't.
My head started to swim and I blacked out. When I woke,
Sounds
I was
like a
lying in
strange
a
dream.
bed I didn't recognize, in a life I didn't recognize. Around my neck was the pendant from my dream, and in my hand, your business card.
Now that's spooky.
I never printed any business cards. You mind if I take a look?
By all means.
Ooh.
Well, that's not normal. So you don't have any idea who you might be?
I've learned, or at least I've been told, that my name is Mary Fontoul. My husband, Victor Fontoul is the president of Island Ventures. We live in a mansion outside of town with our butler, Benny. We've been married for 10 years, and we're very happy together.
And you don't believe a word of it?
I may have lost my memory, Detective, but I haven't lost my intuition. This woman I'm supposed to be, Mary Fontoul, it's not me.
And what if you're wrong?
Then you'll have made a bit of money, and I'll walk away a confused rich woman.
Makes sense, I guess, as far as the situation can make any sense.
Why not see a doctor? Why come to me?
Believe me, I've seen all the best doctors money can buy. The popular opinion is that it's stress.
Well, I'm not one to knock the other guy's merchandise. But
Of
you
course
could
it
have
would
saved some
say.
time coming here first.
First he asks, why not see a doctor, and then, yeah, well, you could have saved some time coming here first. That's weird. Weird. A weird follow-up to that question.
You said the old man gave you a pendant. Do you have it with you?
Yes, here. If it helps the investigation, please keep it.
The investigation? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I still need more information before I agree to take the case. Let's say I am interested. Do you remember how to use a checkbook?
I can offer you a $200 advance and another $200 on completion, plus expenses. Money's not an issue. Can you help me out? Or do I need to find
200
someone
in
else?
which currency? Because if it's dollars or euros, that's not all that much. Oh, I wonder if what happens if we pick forget it. I'm sure it's a but how much situation, but let's
No
see.
dice, Voodoo Dollface. I'm not interested.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, of course it's a but how much situation.
Well, all right,
I should-
sweetheart.
I
For that
should
kind
have
of
picked-
cabbage,
I'm sure.
I'd voodoo investigate most anything.
Ah,
Consider me hired.
I should have picked. I'm sure, but
Thank you,
damn,
Detective.
I'm sure it's still.
I don't
would've-
mind telling you
but
that comes
must
as a
have been- or
relief to
given me
me.
a game over screen
Here's the
time.
money.
But shouldn't we
I
get
have a
some money?
good feeling about you.
Money.
Save your feelings for book club, honey.
Oh wow, that's.
You know, you
That's
better keep that
mean.
shirt buttoned, Detective. I wouldn't want your big old heart falling out.
I'll be careful, Voodoo Dollface.
Wow.
How can I get in touch if I need to talk with you about the case?
If you need me, I'm staying at the Chic Shell Hotel. Please come see me if you make any progress.
Shell Hotel. Interesting.
Oh,
hotel
and
name.
Detective,
Yes?
don't call me Voodoo Dollface.
Yeah.
What a knockout. A dame like that could give a zombie a heart attack, or a voodoo detective a real headache. I better mail my personal ad and then go get my book of voodoo back from Billy.
I better mail my personal ad. Why we didn't? I don't think we got any context for why he would have to mail a personal ad.
I can barely see my desk under all these bills. Nice desk, though.
Okay, so he's got a lot of bills. He's clearly taking the case for the money.
One new message.
Oh wow,
Message 1.
the skull's a.
Hey, it's Ronnie,
Voicemail
your
machine.
landlord. I still hadn't received this month's rent from you. You're new in town, so I'm cutting you some slack. But if I have to call you again, I'm not going to be as friendly. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.
End of message.
So yeah, he's really been struggling for money. Maybe he's lonely. I mean, it sounds like he's into her. Which then you would think like he would just pursue her, kind of, instead of placing a personal ad, I guess? I don't know.
I better grab Grammy's book from Billy's. This radio may be old, but the speakers, when I listen, so do they. This town,
I'm just gonna look at some stuff around
I
town
like
that I
having
have.
books in my office for some light reading. Homer, Aeschylus, Euripides, Aristophanes, Herodotus. Just kidding. They're mostly spy novels.
His face has a Stein painted on it. I feel like it's the whites. And it's hard to tell where the white ends and his hair begins, and if that looks realistic. But well, yeah, it's a game.
It's my #1 fan.
Okay, I looked at the desk.
I don't have anyone to call.
Yeah, okay, I think we've looked around at everything. Oh, I just had a question for Short Sleeve Studio, but they're lurking now. At first you thought he just came out of a They Might Be Giants music video. Well,
Just grab my coat.
he kind
before
of
I
looks
go.
like he could be in a They Might Be Giants music video. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so now we're in the town. Okay, so we need to go to Billy's. We could walk around the place, talk with people, but we're gonna keep that. We're just, well, I'm sure we'll have to do that later anyway. So I'm just gonna go for the goal we have right now. Go to Billy's to get our voodoo book. Okay, so Ricky Tinsel, tourist, locals, tourist.
I better grab Grammy's book from Billy's.
Grammy's book. Wait, I thought this was a bookstore. Donut Hole Billy's. Stop rock video. Does this scroll here? Oh yeah, okay, it does scroll. Oh, here's the Grammy's book of video. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and here's Donut Hole Billy. Let's talk with Donut.
No use trying to talk to Billy while he's in one of his piano trances. There's got to be a way to snap him out of it.
I mean, there's a bucket of water here. There's also a iron glove, like what's it called again? The glove of a knight's armor. I'm forgetting the specific name for that. But why is there a chair like standing on top of that? Altar?
Looks like Billy's got a little offering to Papa Legba here. That's my grandmother's book of voodoo. We call her Grammy. She was a legendary mambo. I should really ask Billy before I take it.
He's now wearing a hat that has indeed an X on it, a white X. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm thinking we need to use a bucket of water on Billy to snap him out of his
Never know when you might need a bucket of water. Rise and shine. I guess he's still out of it.
Oh wow, this guy is really into piano playing. If he can keep playing like nothing's happened through that. Okay, so I guess we need to do something else. Maybe I can. There's a mortal and pestle.
Well, if it isn't New Guinea's newest detective, what can I do for you, VD?
It's been a hell of a day, Ricky. Give me a voodoo fizz and make it kick like a mule with hay fever on Mardi Gras.
A voodoo
You got
fizz?
it. On the house.
Is that like a gin fizz? It doesn't look like a gin fizz.
Down the hatch. Delicious.
Don't we have to pay for that? He spins that glass like a globetrotter. Yeah, the basketball spinning on top of the finger.
I'm working a new case. Mind if I grill you?
Go right ahead, Mr. Detective.
Have you seen this pendant before?
He said
Oh,
it's on the house.
vintage.
Oh, I missed that.
Not really my style, but nice piece. Could be an heirloom. Sorry, I've never seen it before.
What can you tell me about Mary Fontoul?
Fontoul? I only know of Victor Fontoul. He owns Island Ventures.
Okay, so that part checks out about the story.
Thanks for the info, Rick.
No problemo.
I need the skinny on some of the locals.
Of course,
I
VD.
don't think we've
What do you
really
want to know?
interacted with any locals yet. Well, I guess this can be handy to learn
How
about.
was my brother Billy doing?
This.
Oh, you know Donut Hole. Still tapping his foot and typing out tunes.
Yeah, it sure is.
I'm sure he's pretty fed up with folks trying to take over his bar, but nothing could shade his shine.
People are
He's just
trying
his
to take
wonderful
over his
musical
bar?
self. Right
Oh.
now, he's in one of his trances. Why don't you see if you can
Yeah,
bring him
we're
around?
trying to. You don't have any
Thanks for the
suggestions?
info, Ricky.
Hmm.
What do you think of all these tourists?
Well, you know I really can't complain. They bring good business to the bar.
What can you tell me about voodoo? Gabriel Knight. I imagine Victor is not happy about his spouse getting VD. VD being the American term venereal disease, which is an old term for STD, sexually transmitted disease, I believe. Yeah. I'm sure he's not happy about that indeed.
Where did they all come from?
Our quiet little island's become a bit of a hot spot ever since Island Ventures moved in. They set out to commoditize the island experience for package and sale. First it was Island Kitchen, then Island Trader, and now Island Coffee. Sometimes I don't even recognize this town anymore. I don't think they'll stop until this island is just one long line of sweaty tourists shuffling from one island franchise to another. But I can't complain. Like I said, business is good.
So, the island's pretty much been taken over by Island Ventures, who are making it a tourist hotspot and transforming the island pretty much. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean,
What was Zawanga like before they showed up?
advantages and disadvantages.
Well, there were a lot fewer Hawaiian shirts and a heck of a lot more character. The main drag used to be a colorful collection of cozy shops and local flavor. Now it's just a tidy row of island brand imitation.
That sucks.
They turned a rum on the rocks into a virgin pina colada. Even started tearing down old monuments.
Seriously?
The most recent victim was a Honfo, where island coffee is going up. Now, people practicing voodoo like you and your brother don't really have a place to worship.
Damn. They're tearing down Hunfo or Honfo, which I guess is the religious gathering place of worship for voodoo practitioners. That sucks.
That's enough about tourists. Any chance I could borrow your mortar and pestle?
The tools of my trade? Would I ask you for your gree-gree and magnifying glass? Or whatever it is voodoo detectives use to voodoo detect? Well, I guess we could make a trade.
What do you have in mind?
I'm running dangerously low on mint leaf. I need it for all the goofy drinks those tourists guzzle down. If you can get me more mint, the mortar and pestle are all yours.
I would assume he would be able to obtain mint leaves from some sort of importer or store. but
I've got a
apparently
split.
we need to get
See
a-
you around, Ricky.
Okay, so I don't know if there's a way to snap Billy out of piano playing without using the mortar and pestle. I mean, we could talk with these tourists, maybe find out more, but we might just want to go look for that mint leaf. Island Kitchen coming soon. Island Trader, maybe they have mint leaf.
I better grab Grammy's book from Billy's.
Yeah, I didn't mean to click on it. That's candy, junk, shirt rack, screwdrivers.
It's a souvenir screwdriver. There's a tiny inscription on the side. I went to Zawanga, and all I got was screwed.
Funny and functional.
Oh god. We can buy the screwdriver.
I'll take it.
I'm sure
Thanks
there's
for
a
shopping
reason
at
to
Island
buy it,
Trader,
so-
where all your trades come true.
We don't have to keep track of a specific amount of money. Suntan lotion. Can we buy some more of this stuff?
Suntan lotion. My hat and coat keep me covered.
We can't.
It's a
buy
camera.
suntan lotion.
A real beauty, too. I can tell you the image quality is truly remarkable. Plus, we developed the photos right here.
Okay, so we can buy a camera.
I'll take it.
Great! Thanks for shopping at Island Trader. There's nothing we won't trade for your business.
That guy seems a bit.
I'm not
shifty.
shelling out any cash for that. This shirt says, Nuganine, who this?
Zawanga, Zo problems. Okay. We're clearly not gonna buy junk.
They put the candy where the kids can see.
Of course.
It's a dirty game.
It sure is. Yeah. Junk. This kind of looks like a Monkey Island reference. Shopkeeper?
Welcome to Island Trader. Please let me know if I can get anything for you.
I'm just gonna look around.
Go right ahead, sir.
We can't talk about anything in specific. Okay, well, we got a screwdriver and we got a camera. I think that's all we can get here right now. Or at least all we can do here right now. This guy's looking inside. What's his deal?
I'm not talking to any tourists.
Okay, well, it's good to know that we can't talk with tourists. Does he say the same here?
I can't stand tourists.
Okay, so you can't stand him. Notice of intent. I guess this is where the Ufu are.
This used to be a humfo, a voodoo place
Humfo?
of worship. At least until they bulldozed it to make way for island coffee.
Damn them! They ruined it all. They tore it all down. Damn you! I'm trying to think of the Planet of the Apes reference, but I don't kind of blanking. Save like it's Sierra. Okay, well, I guess we can. I actually can't save manual. I think it's just. I guess there's only autosave. That's I would add a manual save system as well. That's not ideal that you can't manually save. Oh no, I agree. I agree with the oh no. Actually, we had the developer in chat earlier, who's now lurking. But if you're gonna watch the VOD or if you're here now, Short Sleeve Studio, why is there no manual save? Let me turn on the light, by the way, and also grab something to drink. Okay. Yeah, this reeks of corporate dark magic conspiracy. It sure does. Okay, I'm gonna treat myself and have a second Iron Brew of the day. Feel the fizz inside you. No, wait, that's not Iron Brew. That's only cans. Or is it taste the fizz inside you? Either feel or taste. Feel or taste the fizz inside you. Probably taste the fizz inside you because that sounds better. Taste the fizz inside you. You thought Iron Brew was a beer. Apparently, there's a beer that has the name Iron Brew, but it's pretty much a soda. Feel okay. Tourist, tourist. Crumpsford's capital. I guess this is a bank. Looks like. Feels via hugs. Hugs. Enter vault. Can we enter the vault?
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind stepping away from the vault? Only Crumpsford Capital account holders are allowed in.
Why don't you have any security measure? Like, if you weren't there to tell me not to go in, I could just go in. That's weird. The office?
The door is locked.
And here it says the door is locked.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Crumpsford is out at the moment. But don't worry, he should be back soon.
The music here is kind of ominous.
It's a bottle of black ink.
I'm sorry, sir, but if you take that ink, other customers won't be able to sign our contracts.
Maybe that's what we want.
Well, we
Did
can't
you ever
have
think
that.
of that? Lies! Hughes! Her smile looks creepy. Her expression is like a soulless. Oh god.
Hello and welcome to Crumpsford
She's such
Capital.
a Karen.
What can I do for you today?
I'm a voodoo private investigator. I was hoping to speak with Mr. Crumpsford.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Crumpsford is out at the moment. But don't worry, he should be back soon.
Okay, that's the same you said a moment ago.
I have no reason to give these people my money.
Okay.
See
We
you.
might later. We might have to open a bank account later to get in that vault or something. But yeah, it looks like that is all there is to see and interact and do. Oh, there's a statue of that.
That guy's loaded.
Okay. I guess that's all. Law office? Okay. Let's see what's at the law office. Lofton Law.
Hey, you keep away from there.
This desk is a little messy, but still, it's a good desk.
Ladder on the side. I don't see a ladder.
Mr. Lawton?
Or what's the
If you've
outside
come
of
for
the
legal services, I'm afraid I can't take on any more clients at the moment.
Actually, my name is Voodoo Detective. I'm a voodoo private investigator. Got some questions I was hoping you could answer pro
Oh, on
bono.
the outside I missed that then.
Absolutely not. I have to finish preparations for an important, affair this evening. Can't you see how
That
busy I
sounds
am?
Ominous.
Oh, how perfectly inconsiderate. I ought to hold you in contempt.
Wow,
You're just like my
you're an
wife,
asshole.
Kiki, and her little puppets. Well, I'm not a puppet. I'm a man.
This guy has issues.
Have you ever seen this pendant before?
This is a law office, not a lost and found. Now, please excuse yourself before I'm forced to take legal action.
Wow, a person can't
He's
ask a
seeing you.
simple question anymore?
I certainly hope not.
Well, screw you too. Books.
Legal documents and books on law. I'd rather be stranded on a desert island than read those.
I know, right? How rude. Ventilation shaft.
It's a ventilation shaft. Looks like it runs to the roof.
And we do happen to have a screwdriver.
That doesn't need to be screwed.
Huh. Okay. I thought it was like a stereotypical thing in games and other media where you unscrew the ventilation cover. I don't know what you're exactly laughing at about, Nikki, but doesn't need to be screwed. Okay, like that. I didn't catch your drift for a moment. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about that doesn't need to be screwed, I'm not a a dad, but yeah, I don't need to be screwed necessarily. Your mind has been in the gutters for weeks. Well, that's not a bad thing necessarily, and mine is often as well. I just didn't think about it like that in this instance. Okay, here's. It's so weird that we can just climb up this ladder. You would think it would be secured as well. If anything does need it, he should have his personal ads out soon. Can we unscrew this? Okay, so here we can unscrew it, but not inside. That makes sense, but why did he then say that doesn't need to be screwed? That's weird.
If I could fit in there, I'd have front row seats to the counselor's crooked cabaret.
Okay.
I don't need a picture of that.
Do you have your ORAT on a stick? Totally does.
I better
this game
grab
doesn't
Grammy's
seem
book
to...
from Billy's.
I don't need to click on myself. I meant to click on
If
that.
you've seen one tropical paradise, you've seen them all.
This game doesn't seem to have an ORAT on a stick, sadly. Otherwise, I would totally have one. Path to Fontoul Estate. Okay, so that's probably where we need to go. But I want to find that mint leaf, but yeah, I don't see a way. Path to Chic Shell Hotel. Okay, so that's the hotel where Mary, I guess, Mary Fontoul, as she called herself.
It's a chain restaurant, closed for remodeling. Normally, there's a line around the block.
And this is the path to the cemetery. Okay, well, I guess we'll go to the cemetery first. We're gonna be lurking and working on your book at the same time while you wait for a game to download. It's also a beautiful day out, so you may end up going for a walk as well. Sounds like a good time, so yeah. If you have a day off or if you have time to yourself, you should do those things. Yeah, it's always good to see you as well. Mausoleum, tombstones, Urfa? That's a bit of a weird name. Flowers? They're not.
Darla ran the old hotel until she rang the checkout bell. There's a bouquet of Centennial Dragonheart plumerias.
Dragonheart
They're
plumeria.
beautiful, but I'm no grave robber.
This guy sure has some flower knowledge.
Let's see. 6 foot?
Wow!
42 long?
Wow!
But still breathing. What is it that you want?
The name's Voodoo Detective.
He's already
I'm
measuring
a
us
voodoo
up for a
private
grade.
investigator.
My name is Eartha. I am the mistress of these hallowed grounds.
Good chat.
Ugh.
I'll be seeing you, Eartha.
Folks always do. Sooner or later.
Wow.
Out of one hole and into another.
Indeed.
There's tourists.
Tourists? Why'd it have to be tourists? I better grab Grammy's book from Billy's.
Yeah. I don't need to keep clicking.
Just another mausoleum. Just an...
Can't go inside. Nothing else to interact with. Tombstone.
Here lies celiac sickly Fred. He choked to death on gluten-free bread.
Okay, so these all rhyme.
Esther, dear, she was a saint.
Could have been snakes.
But then she sinned, and now she ain't.
Snakes.
Little Junior's small and rough.
That reminds
He
me.
died proving he was tough.
When I was 16 or 17, we had a day trip to Paris on a bus. And on the bus we saw 2 horror films. Well, they were thriller/horror. The first one was a Stephen King film based on one of his books. Um, Needful Things, I think it's called. Um, and then the second film we saw, I guess on the way back, was actually a voodoo themed film based on a book, and I'm blanking on the name, but I think it's something with snakes. And it was about a story of a guy, the guy who wrote it, or who claimed he had been kind of brought back from the dead as a voodoo zombie, sort of. And the film was pretty much about people who died being used by a voodoo master, or I don't know. Um, but I don't think it was that they really died. They were like given some sort of potion or concoction or something that made it appear that they were dead, but then they were actually kind of sort of hypnotized and under the control or under the suggestion of that person. And I don't remember all the details, but that was a very intriguing film for me to watch, and a very intriguing story as a young person. Um, yeah, that really triggered something in me. Not necessarily an interest in voodoo and all that stuff, but I don't know, just yeah, just that yeah, got me sort of interested, or yeah, I don't know, there was just something to it. And I bought the book, but I never really got around to reading the entirety of it.
The plaque says Crumpsford Family Mausoleum.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting to know. I guess this should have been a top off. Um, we don't have a way to get into either of the mausoleums right now. So nothing in the cemetery at the moment. Left to Fondul Estate. There's a very suggestive chemical that can enhance susceptibility to suggestion called alcohol. It's very popular around the globe. True, but that wasn't it. I need to look it up, but yeah. Actually, I'm gonna look it up just because I'm thinking about it, and I'm gonna forget otherwise. But so Stephen King, Needful Things, yeah, based on a book, and it was a good movie, good horror film. I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't. It was also referenced in a early Rick and Morty episode um, of a the devil as a proprietor of a store which sells cursed items. Yeah, that's pretty much kind of the premise of the book and the film. And then the movie Voodoo Horror Hypnosis Snake. It was something with snake. It wasn't The Serpent and the Rainbow. I think that was it. The Serpent and the Rainbow, 1988 American horror film, directed by Wes Craven. The script is loosely based on the nonfiction book of the same name by ethnobotanist Wade Davis, wherein Davis recounted his experiences in Haiti investigating the story of Clairvius Narcisse, who was allegedly poisoned, buried alive, and revived with a herbal brew which produced what was called a zombie. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So the serpent and the rainbow. That's why Snake made me think about it. But yeah, yeah, I found that to be an interesting film. Jessica says my experience with Voodoo is more or less limited to Gabriel Knight's first game, yeah, for a lot of people. Especially when it relates to detectives. Okay, so the greenhouse. You might find some mint leaf here.
The greenhouse is locked. I'll
But
need
of
to
course
find
it's
the key.
locked. Okay. Topiary.
Man, this guy's loaded. He's got a garden and a zoo.
These kinds of topiaries remind me of the film Edward Scissorhands, which is of course a very popular culture. I have a hard time imagining that there are people who don't know Edward Scissorhands. Oh, it's certainly possible, I suppose.
Good day, sir. How can I help you?
Okay, so that's the butler, Mary.
The name is
mentioned
Voodoo
earlier?
Detective. I'm a voodoo private investigator.
Voodoo, you say? What, may I ask, brings you here?
Actually, I'm looking for a Mr. Fontoul.
I should,
Victor Fontoul. That you?
move this here so
Oh, no,
you can
sir.
actually see
I'm
the
Benny,
character
his
portraits of the
butler.
people he's talking to.
This is the
I hadn't
Fontoul
noticed-
residence, but
I
I'm
hadn't
afraid
realized
Mr.
that.
Fontoul is in a meeting at the moment. Perhaps you could come back another time.
Hypnosis demonstrators need a lot of confidence and attention to body language. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like the cold reading, where they're not actually mind reading. They're just using a lot of social knowledge and skills and looking at your body language and just making educated guesses about who you are as a person, so they can act like they know things about you or can read your mind or something like that. But yeah, of course it's fake. Their entire act hinges on people just trying to make the act entertaining and memorable. Yeah, I've never been to a hypnosis show, but yeah, I've gone out of my way to avoid some kind of, or I've avoided them just because I think it's total bullshit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. As you say, it's just people playing along.
That's all right. I don't mind waiting inside.
Mr. Fontoul should be finished
Our way
presently.
inside. Is he really going to leave us alone? Oh, he's standing over there. Well, shouldn't leave.
Looks like someone's afraid of the dark.
So chandelier, leaf mansion, butler's quarters, painting.
It's a portrait of a fancy man.
Expert's office. Oh, he doesn't say, oh, you can't go in there. Empty sherry bottles. Well,
Empty. Looks like Benny Boy's been drinking more sherry than
this
the
guy's
Queen.
got an alcohol problem. Speaking of, Jagger.
I think it's Leopold.
maybe he's susceptible to suggestion. Is there anything else here? Investigate. Oh,
There's a letter here addressed to Benny.
now we're actually snooping around and
Tear
stealing
stains
stuff.
have blotted out some of the words.
Benny, you have
Benny,
to stop.
you
I
have
don't
to
know.
stop. I don't know what he would do if he found... Besides, I can't just forget the way you treated me. I don't know what you're getting at, Hoodoo. You're scaring me. I'd like to remain friends, but you have to stop. Sincerely, I wonder if Mary wrote
Yeah,
this.
it feels like Mary may have written this, and there's something going on. There was something going on between her and Benny was doing hoodoo stuff, which is hoodoo is the voodoo related magic.
Opera records and romance novels.
There's
There's
something
also
going on
handwritten
here.
sheet music. It says Benny and the Jest. A ballad about how my love life has been one grand joke.
Okay, so this guy clearly has issues. Can we talk more with him?
Mr. Fontule should be finished presently.
Jagger says, I don't have too much against hypnosis shows or hypnosis. I'm just concerned about the average person getting totally absorbed in pseudoscience. Yeah, same.
Listen, you old pit viper.
Well,
I've stuck my neck out for you financing this new factory of yours.
His portraits, the art is great.
All right, all right. Calm yourself, dear boy. No need to get excited.
Well, if I'm excited, it's your fault. Quid pro quo, Victor, you slippery worm. I don't like all this cloak and dagger nonsense.
Just a little professional discretion, Gordon. We don't want anyone stealing our recipes, do we?
Discretion? I don't care a fig for your discretion. I care about what's being done with my money.
Money, it's a drag.
Be at ease, my friend. I'll explain it all at the
What did he put
shareholders'
in his
meeting.
mouth? Chocolates?
For now, please trust that things are progressing on schedule and as planned.
I don't like being left in the dark, Victor. I don't like it at all. You'd better have some answers next time we meet.
So this guy is wondering what's happening with the money that he invested, and he wants to. And he's saying, wait until the
Sir,
next shareholders
a voodoo detective is here to see you.
A detective?
Voodoo Detective, Mr. Fontule. I was hoping we could talk.
I see. Well, why don't you join me in my office?
Okay, let's go into the office. Benny and the Jest.
Lots of elegant leather-bound books. Just the kind you expect in a fancy office.
A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one.
That's not a bad
You've
statement.
got quite the collection here. I don't even know what most of this stuff is.
I mean, that's clearly a gun.
Ah, yes. Those are from the old days before Island
He's the guy
Ventures.
who runs Island Ventures.
I used to travel all over the world, collecting bits and bobs from hither and yon. I find different cultures completely fascinating. It's a bit of a hobby.
So this is a Ming vase. This is some sort of pistol. This is... not sure, can't make it out. This is kind of Norse horn, Viking horn. That's a wedding photo.
It's a map of a place called Ventures Island.
That's right. Island Ventures has big plans for Ventures Island.
Is this the island that we're currently on that he wants to rename Ventures Island, or is it another island? It has a factory out on here. So that's where they're putting a factory? Or where they have put
Looks like a wedding photo.
Ah, what a happy day that was.
So that's Mary, I
Bloom of
guess?
the peach, blush of the berry. My sweet, sweet Mary.
Right.
And the wind cries, Mary.
Nothing compliments a hot day like a roaring fire.
Sure don't.
Except perhaps a trench coat?
True. He is wearing a trench coat on a hot day. More curiosities.
You've got quite the collection here. I don't even know.
Ah, I used to travel. I find different...
Is there anything more over here? Nope. Guess that's it. Well, let's talk with Victor Fontule, who is the guy who is apparently married to Mary Fontule, who came to us claiming that she's suffering from memory loss and she doesn't remember, doesn't think she is actually Mary Fontule. And we just found a letter which indicated that Benny, the butler here of the married couple, was engaging in some sort of situation with Mary and also doing some sort of voodoo, which makes one wonder if she doesn't remember being married, because kind of, I don't know, like soul, personality, person switch of bodies?
I do apologize
Just
for the
speculating
excitement
at
out
this
there.
point.
When in business, one must deal with all sorts of people. Especially when you require funding.
What was that argument about?
Well, Island Ventures' subsidiary, Island Kitchen, is preparing to launch a new line of food. I'm holding the cards pretty close to my chest to avoid any leaks. Gordon doesn't like that. But surely that has nothing to do with why you've come to see me.
Surely
Unless
it
you,
doesn't.
too, wish to inquire about the particulars of our new secret recipes?
I'm here on behalf of my client, your wife.
Mary? My God, I've been worried sick. Is she all right? She'd been acting like a completely different person, and then she just up and left.
I've got some questions about your wife.
Please, go ahead.
Was Mary spending time with anyone new prior to her memory loss?
Not that I know of. My work requires frequent travel, and Mary always insists on joining me. Couple that with a proclivity for solitude, and she isn't left with much opportunity to make new acquaintances.
Solitude standing.
At least none that I would be unaware of.
Does Mary have any close friends?
Mary keeps largely to herself, but she does visit with my nephew's wife on occasion. Her name is Kiki Lawton.
The lawyer's wife?
Do you know how I can reach Mrs. Lawton?
I know Kiki and Mary often enjoy brunch together at the Chic Shore restaurant. You might try there.
Is that at a hotel? The Chic Shell Hotel, the Chic Shore restaurant.
What do you know about Mrs. Lawton?
Kiki is the wife of my nephew, Theodore, but I'm afraid I don't know her very well.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I've got other questions. Do you know of anyone who would want to harm Mary?
Heavens, no. Everyone loves Mary. She's kind and good. She never bothers anyone. A mind would have to be truly unhinged to harm a sweet, delicate flower like Mary.
I'm wondering if he maybe doesn't know his wife quite as well as he thinks he does.
What do you know about Mary's past?
I'm afraid very little. I know both of Mary's parents died when she was young, and
Well, that's
she
a
has
bad
no
sign.
siblings. But she doesn't like to talk about her past, and I don't wish to reopen old wounds.
Mary was given this pendant around the time she lost her memory. Look familiar?
Why, yes. She brought it to me shortly after her memory trouble began. We never were able to find out where it came from. Do you think it has anything to do with her amnesia?
I don't know yet. That's enough about your wife for now. Do you mind if I ask some personal questions?
Go right ahead.
You've amassed quite the fortune. Got any greedy-eyed next of kin looking for a slice of inheritance pie?
No, nothing like that. The only family I have aside from Mary is my nephew, Theodore Lawton. He runs a law practice downtown and works as my lawyer.
And if you and Mary were out of the picture, he would stand to inherit quite a lot of lettuce, right?
Are you suggesting that Theodore is trying to kill my wife?
I'm not suggesting anything, just exploring possibilities. Do you know of anyone who might want to do you harm? Someone who might go after your wife to get to you?
In business, one has many competitors. And of course, if you're successful, there are bound to be those who look on with covetous eyes. But business is about optimizing profit, Detective, and there is no profit in harming a man's wife.
That's enough about you for now. Can you let me into the greenhouse?
My butler, Benny, manages the grounds here. You'll have to ask him about it. Though he has become a bit more particular about whom he lets in, since his tiff with the local barman.
That's
wonder
all
if
for
there's
now.
Anything going on in the greenhouse?
Godspeed, Detective.
It's something about the local barman, so that would be the guy from Billy's. Okay, well, let's ask Benny about access to the greenhouse.
Well, if it isn't Benny the butler.
Hello, Detective. What can I do for you?
What can you tell me about Mrs. Fontoul?
Mary is a good woman. She's always been generous to me. She used to sit for hours with that kind, blank stare of hers, listening to my opera when no one else would. It was unlike her to leave the way she did. I've been so worried. I do hope she's all right.
Did you notice anything strange about Mary before she lost her memory?
Not that I can recall. She seemed every bit her normal, quiet self. Completely imperturbable, as though a veil of calm separated her from the troubles of the world.
Did Mary start spending time with anyone new prior to her memory loss?
I don't think so. She only really spent time with Mr. Fontoul and her friend Kiki Lawton. And myself, of course, the dear.
Do you know of anyone who would want to harm Mary?
No, I don't. Mary never hurt or offended anyone. Frankly, she didn't interact with all that many people to begin with.
I've got this gold pendant here. Have you ever seen it?
Sorry, no.
If you don't mind, I have a few other questions. What can you tell me about Mr. Fontoul?
Mr. Fontoul is a beneficent gentleman. I can make no complaints about the time I've spent working under his employ. Even if I could, it's not a butler's place to say such things.
Do you live here?
I mean, he's got butler's
Why, yes.
quarters.
My quarters are adjacent to the staircase.
Can you let me into the greenhouse?
I'm afraid not.
Of course.
The Fontoul greenhouse represents a spectacular botanical achievement. The variation in provenance among the flora we cultivate requires careful attention. The only way to maintain precise control over the environment is to limit the number of visitors we allow in.
That doesn't
That's
sound
why I'm the
suspicious
only
at all.
one with a key. I am sorry.
Okay, so he has a key.
I got this letter here addressed to you.
Where did you get that? Have you been in my room?
This looks awfully bad, Benny boy. A letter from someone who doesn't appreciate your attentions. Enough sherry to float the Royal Navy. And Mary Fontoul wakes up without her memory. Care to explain?
You have been in my room. Mr. Detective, I resent what you're insinuating, and I absolutely cannot abide you invading my privacy. I have nothing but respect and admiration for Mary Fontoul. She's my dear friend, and one of the few people to show interest in my opera. I will speak no more on the matter.
So he's been working on opera, I guess?
Thanks, Benny.
Okay, well... It's funny that he doesn't say anything about it while, like, in the bank. They don't allow you to go in somewhere. It's like, hey, you can't go in there, but he doesn't say anything. Oh, Voodoo?
I better grab Grammy's book from
I missed
Billy's.
this book here earlier. There's Voodoo for butlers. Voodoo for butlers.
Voodoo for butlers. A couple of chapters are bookmarked.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Love spells and mind manipulation.
Okay.
What have you been up to, Benny, old pal?
Okay, this is looking bad. He replaces it. I would take it with me.
The desk is empty.
I don't suppose we'll
Nice
be able to find
woodwork, though.
the greenhouse key in here. maybe if we talk about him. With,
Well, if it isn't Benny the butler.
About the book, we can intimidate him.
Hello, Detective. What can I do for you?
I got this letter here addressed to you.
Where did you get that?
This looks a letter from a book of hoodoo in your room.
Okay, so now he mentions the book of
and
hoodoo.
Mary Fontoul wakes up without her memory. Care to explain?
You have been in. I have nothing. She's my dear. I will speak.
Okay, so he didn't say
Thanks,
any
Benny.
more. I was hoping to maybe learn a bit more there. Okay, so you can skip. So the butler is trying to save her from Victor's magic, I assume. Victor's magic. We haven't seen any indication that Victor is performing magic, but maybe? It's not impossible. So there's a chic shell hotel, and here's the chic shore restaurant. Yeah, I figured the restaurant and the hotel were linked. So here we can enter the hotel, here we can enter the restaurant.
The Chic Shell Hotel. Are you a camera-slinging, culture-sapping, self-centered tourist looking to be pampered like a baby? Then you've come to the right place.
Let's go into the restaurant because Theodore Lofton's wife might be here. Dang, he rushed over there quick. Must have really had to pee. So there's a tourist here, a woman.
Hello there, handsome. Looking for someone?
Not anymore.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Voodoo Detective. Oh, God.
You wouldn't happen to know anyone named Kiki Lawton, would you?
Hey.
As a matter of fact, I do. Better hold on to your hat, 'cause she's the devilish darling you're gabbing with, Mr.
Detective. Voodoo Detective.
I like
Pleased
that
to meet
that's
you,
the
Mrs.
only
Lawton.
name he has.
The
He's
pleasure's
just
all
Voodoo
mine, Detective. And you can call me
Oh,
Kiki.
you're too tipsy? Take care, Nork. I'm doing okay. Probably not gonna be streaming very much longer because it's getting late. I think I'm gonna be continuing this on stream tomorrow. But yeah, I'm doing okay. It's a long weekend now. For a change.
Dining alone?
Why do you ask?
Enjoy being tipsy.
Looking for a date?
Maybe I am.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm expecting company, and my brand of entertainment is best suited for an audience of one.
Makes a good name for a Voodoo Detective. You're heading home from a friend's place. Get her at grandma's and you can sleep on tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Hope it was a good time.
Are you staying at the hotel?
And I hope you have a good rest.
I certainly am. I find it a welcome
Sleeping
respite.
like shit.
Domestic life can be so drab.
And the
Wouldn't you
light starting
agree?
At like 5 a.m. I hate this.
I wouldn't know.
So much.
Count your
Have
blessings.
beers, food, mezcal, gin, whiskey. Wow, that's a lot of drinks. Mezcal, I've heard about that, but I've never seen it IRL, I think. I'm not a whiskey person. Beers and gin depends.
I was hoping I might run into my client. You wouldn't happen to have seen her. Goes by the name Mary Fontoul. Female, attractive, about 5'5". Looks like a little lost lamb that forgot the way home.
Who did you say you were again?
Bo Peep.
Bo Peep.
Well, I do know Mary, but she never mentioned a tall drink of water like you.
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about her.
What do you want to know?
Mary's lost her memory. I'm trying to find it.
Lost her memory? The same thing happens to me around 5 o'clock every evening.
Okay, so she drinks a lot as well. Just like Narv. Gonna grab the doggos in about 30 minutes and 2 buses. before heading home. I hope that all goes well while you're tipsy.
Do you know if Mary started spending time with anyone new recently?
She hasn't mentioned anyone to me.
Yeah, it is crisp voice acting.
Did Mary ever talk about her past?
Not once. Mary never volunteered personal information. And I guess I never asked. I'm not one to dig up the past once it's buried.
Have you ever seen this pendant before?
I can't say that I have. Not very elegant, is it? Why do you ask? Oh, I know. It must be evidence from one of your cases. Is that it? Was it stolen? Or perhaps it was cursed.
Don't really like the
You did
character
say Voodoo
voice
Detective,
actor, right?
right?
I mean,
Oh, how delicious.
that's a matter of personal taste.
Settle down, Mrs. Lawton.
I think
No
the
need to get
portraits
excited.
are very nice.
It's
Nicer
just a
than
necklace.
the character models.
Do you know anyone who would want to
Definitely
harm Mary?
The models are
Well, her husband
an
is quite
interesting
wealthy.
art style
I'm
compared
sure
to
there
the
are
rest.
plenty of less fortunate islanders who might resent her wealth. You know, eat the rich and all. But I'm speaking in generalities now. These people might feel the same way about anyone with 2 pennies to rub together.
Have you noticed Mary acting strange recently?
Mary? God, no.
Glad to
She's
find it
as
nice.
reliable a friend as any I've ever had. Such a good listener. Always quiet, non-judgmental, slowly nodding to let you know she's there for
Everyone
you.
says that she's always
And those stony
quiet.
black eyes of hers are so beautiful. Like glazed obsidian.
Black eyes?
Something's going on.
She's just lovely. An
Black
absolute
eye-
doll.
I don't remember having her having black eyes when we saw her.
I've got other questions. I've got more leads to chase down. Gotta blow.
See you around, Detective.
I'm gonna skip talking to the waiter because I kind of just want to go into the hotel, find Mary, talk to her, and then end the stream. If I can. Who's over there?
Good day, sir. Going up?
I mean, clearly.
Yep.
Great. I'll just need to see a room key before I can take you upstairs.
I'm just visiting. I don't have a room key.
I'm sorry, sir. We require anyone going upstairs to have a room key. You can ask the front desk for more details.
These guys these sirs are sweating heavily.
I don't
Time
have
for
a
a
key.
bribe.
Would a couple clams change your tune?
Sir, are you trying to bribe me?
You catch on pretty quick.
My job is worth more to me than a couple of clams, sir.
How about the whole chowder? Everyone has a price.
Not this elevator driver. I'm sorry, but my loyalty is not for sale.
Yeah. Right now I'm happy that it's the weekend, but in general things have been rough.
On
job.
second thought, I'm afraid of heights.
Family, other things, life in general. So yeah. I'm doing okay enough, but you know, could be better. Let's talk
Good day,
about-
sir. Checking in?
I'm looking for a woman staying here named Mary Von Tool.
One moment. Yes. We do have a Mary Fontoul staying with us. She checked in the other day. A shorter woman with brown hair and brown eyes.
Okay, so
Came
he
here
says
alone,
brown
paid
eyes,
cash.
not black eyes.
She's staying in room 203. I believe she's in there now. But you need a room key to get upstairs. The Chic Shell Hotel takes our guests' privacy very seriously.
He just said all that personal information about her, and then he says they take the privacy of guests very seriously.
Can I get a room?
Makes no sense.
Ordinarily, yes. But I'm sorry to
damn
say
it.
we're all booked up.
There's plenty
Is there
of
anything
keys
else I
thing
can help
here.
you with today?
How about if I ask real nice? Will you let me upstairs?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't let you upstairs if you're not a guest.
You can't let us upstairs if we're not a guest, and we can't become a guest.
You're saying I need a room key to visit a guest? Can I just knock?
Like I said, we can't let just anyone upstairs. That's why we require a room key to use the elevator. Every hotel guest is given a spare set to loan out to visitors.
Ooh.
That way it's up to them who's allowed to visit.
But she didn't give us
See you.
her spare room key. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be any stairs.
These tourists are everywhere.
Would Mrs. Lofton happen to have a key? The speed walking is so funny.
Hello again, Detective. Couldn't keep away, huh?
I've got some questions. I've got more.
About a room
See you
key. Later.
Good day, sir. What can I do for you?
Probably gave it to someone.
I'll take a meal for one and drinks for two.
Great. Find yourself a table and I'll be right with you.
So I guess we're gonna have food with Mrs. Lofton then. Probably gotta ask her.
Hello again.
Hey.
Dining alone. Maybe
I'm expecting.
No, she
I've got a.
doesn't want to
I've got.
dine
See you.
together. Open table. Well, let's get down here then, I guess.
Can I get you anything?
What's on the menu?
What's on the menu?
Well, let's see. We have our macadamia nut crusted mahi mahi bites. There's the steamed miso Thai snapper. Our special today is poisson cru, made using deadly fugo fish.
Holy shit.
For drinks, we have the mighty mango mojito, our marooned martini, and our most popular drink, the Voodoo Wipeout Punch.
How about some grub?
Yes, sir. What would you like?
I'll take the special.
Excellent choice. Bon appetit.
Oh, she just places there. She already has it. Oh wow. It's a whole
Where'd you get that food?
uncut.
Why,
You
from our kitchen, of
mentioned it.
course.
And you just had it in your coat?
Oh, that's hilarious.
They don't call it a dinner jacket for nothing.
What the heck?
That hit the spot.
What about the fugu fish? It just
How about
stays there?
something to sand down the edges?
Certainly.
I'll have the voodoo punch.
Very good choice. Bon appetit.
Where'd you get that drink?
Why, from our bar, of course.
And you were just carrying it in your...
They don't call it a bar coat for nothing.
Oh, God. Don't eat pufferfish, yeah, especially in this state. I believe you can only eat very specific bits of it, or well, you have to make very sure that you remove the toxic part,
Actually,
or
I
you're
think
pretty
I'm
much
good.
dead, I believe.
Please let me know if you need anything.
So, fugo fish carcass.
It's the carcass of the fugo fish I ordered. Looks like the poison gland's still in there. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, I figured I would be able to get either this whole carcass or I guess the fugo fish glands.
It's the poison gland from a fugo fish. It's a tear-stained letter addressed to Benny. Sounds like a fling gone bad. Benny, you have... I don't know what... Besides, I don't know what you're getting at. I'd like to remain sincere. I wonder if...
Going to examine that as well.
It's the camera I bought from Island Trader. The shopkeep said he'd develop my photos for free.
Okay, so we might have to
It's my
put it
screwdriver.
something.
It says, I went to Zawanga and all I got was screwed. It's the money Mary gave me. It's a small, unremarkable pendant made of gold. Mary said it was given to her by an old man in a dream. I should see if I can find where it came from.
Okay, so I've been streaming for an hour and a half, and it's getting late, and I think I'm gonna continue this on stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be an early stream though, compared to my usual stream times. Sometime in the afternoon, my time, probably early afternoon. So yeah, that's in 16 hours or so, maybe 15 hours. But yeah, or 17 hours, I don't know. Yeah, I've been enjoying this first look at Voodoo Detective so far. It's an interesting game, an interesting story. There's a lot of good humor, or interesting humor at least. Just I don't know. It's tickling my fancy. Though there's also some questionable decisions or some weird things. But yeah, generally I'm liking it. So I'm looking forward to checking out more of it together on stream tomorrow. Hope that everyone who's been watching the stream has been enjoying. This first look at Voodoo Detective, it just came out, so it's brand new. It's on Steam for, I believe in dollars, it's $15 or $12.50, something like that. So yeah, it's not the cheapest game, but it's not the most expensive. I think it's just affordable enough that you can grab it if it looks like your thing. So yeah, if you are interested, check it out on your own if you want to, or check out my stream tomorrow to see more. So yeah, see you all next time.